Chiefed up. What's up?
How's your day been going?
Chiefed up. Status. All day.
What is your shirt? What does your shirt say? What is that? Oh,
It's,
chief.
it's literally a chief.
I know it doesn't say
Oh,
anything.
okay. I was like, what? I couldn't see it at all.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Excelling the universe.
Is that your heritage, or is that just something you're into?
Huh? No, I'm just. It's more of a statement of oneness, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Us with the, what's that?
I'm all, you sure you're gonna stand?
You're gonna stand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
For an hour?
And then we're not gonna have for an hour.
He's all stand on one foot.
I feel like I'm 3 pounds right now, bro. Just.
I'll do the first 30 minutes with one
I won't even
foot.
feel it. I won't even feel it.
Damn, we started talking way louder.
Huh?
We started talking a lot louder
It's
once
like
we
yelling
started.
now.
Yeah,
Oh, we're starting?
yeah.
Real starting? All right,
Yeah, look-
welcome everyone. This is the No Pulse Podcast. This is me, Armageddon, with my co-host
Midori.
Midori, and today we have a special one for you guys. It's
Hold on, let me interrupt you.
What?
Let me interrupt you with that.
Go ahead.
So our
Interrupt
special
me.
guest today, you're not gonna believe it, but we have Nick Cannon all the way from LA. And you might ask yourself, why is Nick Cannon on this little podcast? We reached out to him, and actually I don't know. Who do we have here?
Wow, that was, I was like, oh man, that got going good with it. It fucking just fell off the
I
rails.
ran out of like stuff
We
to
have
say.
our first guest ever, and his name's Esteban. Esteban, say hello to the people.
What's up? This is Esteban, aka Iberian Sage,
And he's chiefed up, so he tells us.
He's cheaped.
levitated.
So tell us about yourself,
Elevated.
Esteban.
Me, I'm just a guy who.
This is like just imagine this is like a 60-second like speed date sort of type thing, where like you just have to like just get it all out on the table. Who are you?
Here we go. So, born East Coast.
But you have 60 minutes though.
6 minutes. Okay. I thought you said 60 seconds.
I did, but I
here
changed
we
my
go.
mind.
Speed date. I'm actually not really from the Valley. I'm actually from the East Coast. Born out there in Pennsylvania, the Quaker State.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gettysburg, actually, to be specific.
I never met anyone that was born like
Never.
from somewhere else.
Uh-uh.
Honestly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
haven't been back there since I was 6 years old. I mean, I've been to fucking so many states. We went from, in 1 year, let me give you a scheme of timeline here.
Mhm.
And from 1986 to 1988, I was in Gettysburg, and then ended up in Fresno.
Mhm.
But here's the in between. Here's how many schools I had to go to. Because my parents were migrant workers. If anybody's parents were migrant workers, you're fucking moving.
Yeah.
Like from then, I went and moved from Pennsylvania to Virginia, to West Virginia, to Florida, to Georgia, down to Mexico, and then up the state to Mexicali, then up to Huron, then Avenal, then Fresno, in a matter of that timeline between 86 and 88.
What was like the typical like length of time you would stay in one place? Was it like 6 months, a year, 2 years? Was it just real
It
quick?
was months. So whenever I was going to school, I kind of forced myself to not make friends.
Yeah, because
I mean, I kept it to 1 minute, maximum one, dude. But I wouldn't try to get to know them, because I knew like mom and dad were gonna pick me up directly from school. In fact, there's a very vivid memory that I have of me in a class. I think that might have been like in first grade or kindergarten or something, and they were gonna show the movie Cinderella. I had never seen Cinderella at that time,
Mhm.
but I was fucking sick, so I wanted to watch Cinderella, and they.
Hey, you were 6?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
but I want to see Cinderella.
That makes
Like,
you,
I'm gonna
that makes
watch
you
that
gay.
shit.
of course you did.
And then in the middle of the whole freaking movie that they were showing in class, I knock at the door. It's my mom. Like, shit, she's fucking. We're gonna leave. We're gonna leave again. So I gotta say my goodbyes again. So that was a constant. She came in, interrupted the movie, never got to see the movie.
You never got to see Cinderella.
But it's just like stuff like that stands out in my life.
Have you seen it now?
Yes.
It's not that great of a movie. You didn't miss out on anything.
I didn't. but you see how the context of your human experience changes through time.
Yeah.
You know, when you're little, everything's magical and fucking you got pretend friends and shit.
You're like an adult at that point. You're like my life is just constantly changing. There's no way I can like I can't develop any relationships with anyone. It's just like you at that point you already knew what your life was. Instead of as a kid, you're like the world is just open to you. It's just so colorful and wonderful. You're like, man, like what's gonna happen today? You know, anything could happen. Whereas you knew exactly what could happen. Like on any given day, it's like I could be here and then I'm gone the next day.
So I always expected it, so I didn't force myself not to make that many friends. And all the way, and this happened basically. We moved. I mean, I went to so many schools. We moved to so many schools, and then once I got to high school is when I first had my first school that I actually concurrently went to all 4 years. And shout out to the McLean, Seattle McLean Highlanders out there.
What?
You know, class of '99.
Here in Fresno?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Here in Fresno?
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
My girlfriend actually went to that school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's alumni of that school.
Look at that, man. Highlanders.
No, it's funny that you say that though, because that happened to me too. Like, I was like moving around a lot because like my dad sold the house. Well, we lost one house, and he bought one, then he sold it, and then we moved. We like took off with all the money to Texas, back to like where his family was, and stuff like that. But I just realized, but that was like only over the span of like 2 years. But I did realize that did like shape those 2 years, like shaped the hell out of me. Like, it kind of took my innocence away, I would say.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's weird.
I had to help my parents raise my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I was changing diapers at fucking 8 years old.
Dang.
I know 8 years old that don't even know how to wipe their own ass. Okay.
Right here, man.
I mean, I know grown men. Yeah, grown ass people that don't know how to wipe.
Right
their
here,
ass.
man.
We had a class when I was in boot camp. When I went to the army after high school, 1999. When I went in and they teach you how to wipe your ass, bro. Like they sat us all fucking down and we all had a roll of toilet paper next to us and we all had to be like shut the fuck up and sit down, right?
So you guys had to take a shit and then wipe your ass, or just wipe your ass?
He gave the drill sergeant gave the class and we were all sitting by our beds. Like our bed was our desk basically. So we're sitting on the floor. He was getting the class all the way down to the freaking barracks, and he was saying, you know, because people don't know how to fucking roll only 3 rolls when you're wiping your ass. These motherfuckers were going like this. They were doing like 20, so all the fucking toilets were getting clogged, right?
Yeah.
So they had like a full mummy hand home that wiped their ass.
Mummy hand, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know, this is what I'm talking about. Grown men don't even know how to wipe their own ass. To me, it's always God, family, and then the rest, bro.
Yeah, me and you are complete opposites.
Those are good tenants. Yeah, he's completely opposite. He don't give a fuck about family.
It's not that I don't give a fuck about it. It's just that I don't know how to like do family stuff. Like, for instance, today my brother, his niece, having her birthday today, and we didn't go. I didn't go. My dad didn't go. My brother Frank didn't go. Like, we're just, I don't know, it's just normal for us not to. He invited us, he wanted us to go and stuff, but I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to actually go and like
Interact.
do the whole thing that, hey, come on, little baby. Like, I never held like his kids before or anything like that.
Dude, I was right there before you, before I got married, man. I was there like, who the hell is gonna give me a kid to take care of? Like, do they know what I've done? You know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was another experience. You know, after serving and it's part of my service.
So you did some pretty crazy things, huh? A little bit in that.
Can you share any of those?
Yeah,
crazy things.
Yeah.
So first, you know, did the whole boot camp thing. Came out well. In the middle of boot camp, I fucking was doing some combat rushes, they call them, and so happens that we do them in this big ass pit, and it's got nothing like cedar bark and shit everywhere, just like so it softens the blow. All right. Well, here I hit the needle in the haystack because my fucking knee met up with a fucking nail the size of probably at least a 5 inch nail. Rusty. and it got in between my kneecap and my knee joint, and it busted basically, cartilage, muscle ligaments, all kinds of shit in there. But it went all the way in there. So I not only hit it, but it snapped off, or somehow nothing was protruding because I couldn't tell that I even had a nail. I thought I hit a rock. That's what it felt like. I hit a rock, so I didn't feel like anything got inserted or
got stabbed.
Stabbed or no. It just felt like oh man, I hit a rock really hard. And when I got up, I was like, so that's what is in my mind. So I'm over here going to do it again. Boom! I freaking hit that same spot where that nail was already in there. My fucking body went like, I started shaking, dude. I was like, oh, and then so the drill sergeant says that I kind of like hesitate, and he starts fucking yelling at me, telling me to hurry the fuck up, fucking pirate, get your, like that. So I'm over here like trying to, do the best I can, but it just kept hurting more and more. And then I was using the freaking rifle, because you're supposed to run with a rifle at that point.
That's a crunch, huh?
Use it, and you're supposed to sort of break your fall with the butt of the rifle.
Yeah.
And then run and lay into a prone position. That was the exercise. Run, hit the floor, go into prone position three times across. So we were just going kind of like in a circle just to do it over and over. And on this try, I fucking hit the one thing that I could have gone left, I could have gone right. Nothing would ever happen. But I hit 8 hours that it took for them to send me to the fucking hospital to get me x-rays.
Yeah.
So by then, my fucking leg was balloon sized, bro, because shit started growing. It's gangrened. And
it's all
so
infected.
they thought I was in the trip from the training area to the hospital, by the way, this drill sergeant thought I was faking it. So they made me climb a 5-ton. A 5-ton is significantly tall. The lip of the gate, of the back gate, was up to here, about maybe a good six, maybe 7 feet tall. So I have to throw my legs over to climb over, because nobody was helping me. So they thought I was faking it.
Yeah.
So I hop in there, and when I threw my leg over the top, and I hit a crate in there, oh man. By that point, it was, massively tender, and if I touched it, it started hurting already. So it was just, the inflammation was horrible in there.
Well, what do you mean you couldn't see it, huh? You didn't know?
No, I couldn't. That's because I thought, I was like, man, did I crack my kneecap? Like, that's what I thought at
first.
But
even when you didn't look at your knee?
No, I looked at it, but you know what it looked like? I looked really close, and it looked like it was a paper cut.
So it went all the way in your body.
Like under the skin, like I think it pushed so much in there, because remember I did it again and again, and it kept...
Oh, you're just hammering it in there. Hammering.
Hammer time, bro. So that shit, right? And then I'm fucking trying to like keep my bearing, because they eventually had me sit down during the day. And my fucking foot, I rolled up my pants leg, tried to, because I couldn't anymore. It was just like literally a watermelon up in there. Just a fluid and all the, it was a rusty nail. It was 4-inch. Right? Eventually we knew that it was a rusty nail. 8 hours later, right? Oh no, let me talk about the trip again. So the drill sergeant tells me get on the 5-ton and on my own and shit. And then he's like, this asshole says, I'm gonna go over After they took me to the hospital, they had to hold me down, because they wanted to inject some those giant fucking thick ass needles. They were like probably 8-gauge needles to extract the fluid out of my knee, because they didn't know what it was at first, until the X-rays came, and they said, hey, did you lie about having a nail in your knee? I was like, no. That just happened right now. Like, they thought I had a nail holding my knee together or something like that.
Like a surgical operation type of...
Yes, that kind of orthopedic.
That's
or
how
some
deep
shit.
you had it in your fucking knee?
That's how deep it was in there.
They thought it was put there?
They thought it was there, like that, and that I hit it, because they saw, obviously they didn't have medical records and shit, and I didn't mention that, and you can get kicked out and actually go to prison if you lie to the government on any form. just so you know.
Yeah. So you were right about the needle in the haystack. It went perfectly in without touching like anything.
Because it could have gone like sideways, and then right then and there,
you would have saw it.
They would have fucking saw it, and they would have taken him to the hospital, and it wouldn't have been as fucked up.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So I had three big fucking buff ass motherfuckers in the hospital holding me down because they were doing this without what do you call it?
Like numbing agents?
Numbing it or shit. No, straight 8 gauge needle into a very tender, the most tenderest part, just to extract the fluid and just to do the lab test and all that.
So that hurt? Did that hurt?
That's probably the most painful thing I've had, and I've had shit stuck like in my pee hole. We'll get to that on another episode. On another episode, I'll talk about how I almost died. On comatosis.
So all that happened in boot camp.
So yeah, that happened in boot camp, and I got surgery, got removed and shit. I wake up and there is my fucking knee still open with the gauze in there. Like the skin was open, but there was a gauze in there. I woke up like that. I was like, the fuck, they gonna leave me? I thought they were like, are they done? You gonna send me home like that? No, they were just gonna make sure that all the nasty, I guess, stuff because they had to disinfect everything. They let it go for too long. If I would have lost my leg, I could have lost my leg.
For sure.
From my knee down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been just not good.
Dang. That would have been
I
crazy.
could have been a pirate right now, bro.
You could
I could have called myself Red Leg.
Red Leg.
You would look even more confusing than you already do.
Right?
I'm literally looking at you. I'm thinking, what is his ethnicity? Like, are you Mexican? Like, I'm trying to figure you out. I'm like,
I get that look.
Sure, I'm looking at your beard
all the time, and we'll get there. But I am Mexican. I was born in the States, so makes me an American. But everybody, I'm the first one in both sides of the family born here. First one in both sides that ever graduated high school, and first one to even join the military. Yeah. So.
Well, I figured you were Mexican because I heard you speaking Spanish, but then I figured you're mixed with something. Like there has to be there's more stuff swimming in your DNA besides,
Are you curious
Mexican.
about my headgear?
Yeah. Like your cadence, like the way you speak, your cadence is different. I'm like, he's not just a normal Mexican. Like
that's true. You have a certain way with the way that you talk and stuff, kind of like cadence.
I don't want to get into religion too much, but that's a pretty thick subject. But
you can if you want to. I mean, and nothing's off limits.
Cool?
We can talk about anything.
Okay, all right.
Anything.
What did you want to talk about? You want to talk about masturbation?
I don't want to hog up all this.
Oh yeah, I had so much shit to talk about, but then he was like, he thought I was gonna alienate you. Like I wanted to talk about masturbation etiquette. I want to talk about buttholes being fingerprints. All kinds of shit.
Buttholes being fingerprints? What are you talking about?
A question I have. Yeah, I agree with you on that front. Yeah, there's so much shit to fucking dive into beyond just the norm of life. The normalcies of just going to work, coming back, eat this shit, fucking go to sleep at a certain time. Have a dream or two, maybe not, whatever. Get up, just rinse and repeat, and do the same thing over and over. Yeah.
In different countries, you see how well or how bad people age, and they live longer than other countries because they stay true to their roots. Keep it old school still.
It's true. Yeah.
They don't eat bad stuff that does bad things to your body.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't want to live that way
Yeah,
anymore.
it's very, very rugged, very, nomadic.
I think I'd rather take this life and just die 20 years early or something.
But there's a balance too. You can't just like anything else on any spectrum. Anything too much or too little is gonna be bad for you.
Yeah.
You have to have that whole yin yang zen in you all the time.
Yeah, I saw this guy that he lived. He was the oldest man alive or something. He was 100. I don't even know, 110, 15, 20 or something. Mm-hmm. But he lived, obviously, he wasn't here from the States. He was in India or something.
Yeah.
And he's every day I go to this well and I get food and I work and I cut whatever. He's heck old. And I was like, so what's the point though? What's the point in that? I don't know. Would you want to live that
well, long? I mean, the point is that life is not the key to living that long. It's just he found his meaning, he found his purpose, and like that instilled something in him that was like a drive, like a force that just kept him going.
That's
That
literally
gave him
the only
longevity
reason-
for that long.
That's the only reason why he's alive.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, you have to fucking farm a field. You have to do step by step exactly what that guy did in order to achieve a
live.
100-year-old life. Yeah,
I
you
know.
just basically find your meaning essentially,
Yeah, he did look happy.
and always having something to do. You
Yeah.
literally you need something to do. You have something. You have to have something to work for every day,
That's why Stephen Hawking lived.
and not
1600
like
days.
work like a fucking type at the fucking keyboard type
Yeah.
work. I meant like
Something
something
you
that
enjoy.
fucking
When you
adds to
can,
your soul.
when you can enjoy your job, or you can't, or you don't dread Mondays.
Mhm.
When you get to that point, that's when you know you're living. When you can say that you love what you do, that's and you don't even consider it work. At first, I did computers because I love to do computers. I do IT. And this drives me nuts when they say that cannabis is addiction and it's a gateway drug. I'm like, if that were true, Snoop Dogg would have died of meth overdose a long time ago.
It's true, Snoop.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson would have fucking died ages ago. He would have died in the fucking 70s. That guy was doing LSD back then.
How old is that?
Is
guy?
it? They still have cannabis as a Schedule 1 drug, and literally a Schedule 1 drug is the worst type of drug.
They equate it to
But
heroin.
there's no deaths. There's no ODs on cannabis
Yeah, you can't.
or any marijuana products.
Die.
But yes, it's a Schedule 1 drug.
I'd rather
There's no fucking sense.
I'd rather drive like in a car with someone who's like super high than a guy who's like super drunk. I should
Yeah.
trust my life with like a guy who's super high.
Yeah, I guess if you had to choose.
Yeah, if you had to choose
I'm
tomorrow.
fucking.
No, I mean,
I want
like,
neither. Yeah.
No, let's say you did have to though, like a guy who's almost like blackout drunk, and then a guy who's like I don't know what level you can get when you're super high, but which would you choose? You had to get in the car with him. It's around the corner.
I can admit that I've driven, cheap, but it's not to the point where it actually focuses me more.
Mhm.
I am way more alert when I'm cheap. Way more. I fucking pay attention to every fucking thing. My shit is 10-2 right here.
10-2.
Okay, 10-2. Looking at all my fucking mirrors, like sitting straight and shit. Going the speed limit. I feel like I'm going 60, but I'm really going 40. That kind of shit. No, when I go on the freeway, I'm at 60, bro. But I feel like I'm fucking just flying. And I don't want to, promote being, high while driving, but it is at least as not as fucked up as alcohol.
Yeah,
man.
and then when
Alcohol
you're-
definitely fucks you up.
When you're drunk, you feel like you're going 90 and you feel like you're going 40.
Yeah, you go faster.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going fast.
I'm not fast
That
enough.
is true.
Yeah, it's the opposite. I'd rather go with the high guy. Than
Yeah,
the
I'm pretty
really
sure if
drunk
you can
guy.
like pull up a chart of like recorded like crash,
They-
like people who've
They did
driven
that.
drunk.
They done tests
Yeah.
where they tested. I think it's on. There's a video on
Yeah.
YouTube that you can watch where they tested people that were smoking. So they made them smoke like up to. I think they were up to like their 4th or 5th one before they started driving even a little bit reckless. 5,000 years ago, a shaman was found buried with like 9 pounds of pot,
Fuck.
and they were dry already.
Yeah.
Imagine how much
And-
shit he really had in there, right? So that shit was so important to him that he wanted to be buried with that.
Yeah.
No, that was the first drug overdose.
That was it.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
He achieved it way too much.
All right, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat with our guest, our first ever guest ever, Esteban. He was great.
AKA.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we can have him on some more. He's a fucking interesting guy, and I can tell he has a lot more to talk about. All right, everyone. This was the No Post Podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.
See you guys.
Peace out.